Thank you. Testing.
That's why I went out.
Don't leave your friends. Thank you.
You're giving me an Eddie complex over here. We think they're mad at us.
I wouldn't be that. I need you both somewhere sometime. Yeah, I know it, but we got extra chairs. Is that what it is?
That's fourth weekend.
Let's call this meeting together. Please rise and remove your hats, please. As in every meeting, we first start off by prayer, the pledge, and I'm going to ask Commissioner Ed Nunley to lead us in prayer. Mr. Nunley.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus Christ, thank us for this great county you gave us to live in and all these wonderful people that live here with. And Lord, be with these commissioners as they make decisions for this county. It'll be the best decision. And Lord, be with our police department, our fire department, and all of our soldiers in the military here and overseas. And Lord, be with those countries that are having trouble working things out, get everything straightened out, will it be better on them and save more lives. And Lord, be with all of us as we leave here tonight, going home. Let us have a safe trip. And Lord, this that's coming over about our hospital being brought to this county, Lord, pray that it goes the right way. And Lord, be with everyone Christmas. They'll have a beautiful and great Christmas. In your precious name, we'll ask this. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I'm going to ask former athletes stand out, and past Marine, past superintendent of schools, and my coach, John Cordell, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Do we have, Anisha, anybody on the public comment side tonight that signed the document? Okay, nobody wants to speak tonight. So. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell. Gary Williams.
Here.
Brian Ruling.
Here.
Blaine Lane.
Here.
James Freeland.
Here.
Brian Walker.
Here.
Joyce Dodson. Here. Ed Nunley.
Here.
Jeff Barger.
Here.
Paul Powell. Here. Michael Hudson.
Here.
June Dishman. Here. Frank Silver.
Here.
Susie Bostic.
Here.
Wayne Clemens. Tommy Johnson.
Here.
Tommy Nero.
Here.
Jeff Mackey.
Here.
17.
We have a quorum. In your packets, Commissioners, you should have received the minutes from the September 18th, 23 meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those said minutes. I have a motion from Mr. Brian Ruling. Do I hear a second? I've got a second from Frank Silver. Any questions, corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, said minutes hereby pass. Okay, as part of the minutes, Madam Clerk, I want to make public the trustees' report from Trustee Larry Lockhart. Also, the Sequatchie County Highway Department's report. You'll get up and speak of that later. I'll make that part of the minutes as well.
Mr. Mayor, sir.
Yes.
You just go too fast, I couldn't find my thing. On those minutes, it's no big deal, but Stacy Williams instead of Williamson on the 911 board report. It's just a typo, but it was.
Stacy Williams, I know him.
It's Williams' son on the report.
Williams' son, okay.
It's no big deal, but it's.
Stacy
Still the
Williams.
family, still the family.
What?
Okay, we will make that correction.
Sorry.
Is that a motion to correct? So we'll take that. Do I hear a second?
I'll second
Have a
that.
second, Mr. Mackey. All in favor of that correction, say aye.
Aye.
Motion hereby to correct hereby passes. Okay, Sheriff, I'm going to get you up first tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I have a really short report tonight. Basically just following up on some of the things that we talked about 2 months ago. With our 3 newest hires, the FTO program with those 3 going really, really well. So one of those came from another agency, has law enforcement experience, and we've actually been able to release him to work on his own as needed, although he is still actively completing his FTO program. The other 2 are in their program, and the one of those 2 that is not certified is scheduled for an academy beginning in January. So we'll be sending him off in just a couple months. On our violent crime grant, we reported 2 months ago that it was going to be active last month. It was active 15th of last month. The problem is, you know, that's where we're doing the K9 thing for the vehicle and the dog and all that. Evidently, you can't buy a police interceptor or Ford Explorer anymore. So we have searched for months, and we finally have found that we evidently can get a Durango that would be available sometime in January, possibly. So I never thought we'd be going through this, but that's what it is right now. You just can't get vehicles. So we are supposed to have a Durango in January. Of course, we have to send it off then for the outfitting, and that takes a few weeks. The overall cost for that vehicle, the Durango, is actually a little bit cheaper than the Explorer. So the overall cost for that vehicle, once it's outfitted, will be about $7,000 more than what we have budgeted from the grant. So that $7,000 will have to come from our sheriff's office budget for vehicles. So we're looking forward to that and getting this K9 program up and running. The Justice Center underwent a re-evaluation. So we all know they were accredited last year, made us one of very few accredited jails in the state. So that is an annual inspection that they perform. They came in on November the 1st and performed our inspection for this coming year. We actually did better than we did last year. So we were 5 for 5 on the mandatory things that you had to have to be eligible, and then we scored 19 out of 20 on the 20 optionals that you have to get at least 17 of. So that gave us an overall score of 96%, and we continue to be one of very few jails in the state that are accredited. And that's about all I have tonight.
Any questions for the sheriff?
What does that accredited really accomplish for us?
Well, many things that I think our attorney could tell you that any accreditation that we can earn can help us in lawsuits down the road because it shows that you have met standards in what you're doing. It also increases the dollar number that we receive per day per state inmate. So that money has gone up. I forget the exact percentage, but it is noticeable percentage that we get additional money now because we are accredited.
It also helps as far as obtaining grant monies. It's a big plus when we do that.
There are many benefits with it, yes.
Anything else for the sheriff? What's our jail number at this time, Sheriff?
We're actually below the bed number today. we're still overcrowded because the state considers us overcrowded at 85%.
Okay.
So with 96 beds, 85% would be, what, 82, 83, somewhere in there. We were at 91 today, which is good because we've been running somewhere around 120.
What about our juveniles?
The juveniles, we currently, I think, have 2 or 3 that are incarcerated somewhere.
That we're paying for?
That we're paying quite a bit for, yes. And I would imagine that that number would probably be more if there were accommodations for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, Sarai, please come forward. Thank you.
I'll be brief tonight too. I certainly want to start by thanking you all for attending our dinner. I think it was very, very well attended. We appreciated you all joining us for the meal. One thing I regret is I didn't have sense to take a group picture, so somebody remind me next year and let's do that when we have folks together. Today we had the Career Technical Advisory Board at the high school, and I wanted to share some stats with you that I didn't have at our last meeting. The first thing is I want you to know that we believe education is a cornerstone to economic development. We're working with you to make this community very, very successful. This school year, we have 67 students in work-based learning. We have 110 students in dual enrollment classes. That means they're taking classes with our high school and earning college credit at the same time. We have 7 students enrolled in pre-apprenticeship, so they're working with industry to gain incredible skills when they go to the workplace. Last year, this is really cool. Last year, our students reported income. This is self-reporting. Income from those doing work-based learning for a total of $95,000. So those are high school students working towards their diploma, also working with local businesses, and they earned $95,000. I'm really proud of them. That's what we want to do. I want to give you this date so you can get it on your calendar, if you will. Save the date, April 10th, 2024. That will be our Career Expo there at the high school where we're set up. A lot of you participated in that last year. If you're available, even if you're not set up as a company or a business, please come and visit and see all the great things that we have to offer for our students.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for Sarai? That April 10th, and then Michael, let me get with you after that. I'd certainly like the county legislative body to be represented, and since you're already there, not being the guy. So anyway, fire departments, those type things need to be represented that day. And they was there last year.
Yes, sir.
So very good. Any other questions? Thank you, Sarai.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Higgins.
Sorry, I got here a little late. I understood I needed to be here earlier. Thanks to Tom over there.
We saw you out there in the hallway, didn't we?
Had a little incident very similar to that last week, didn't we, Gary? Out there at in your neck of the woods with a guy that wanted $700,000 spent on Ensign Gap Road up the mountain.
Yeah, we sure did.
There's more potholes than men in this county, I can tell you that. But anyhow, we'll get to it here. I'll give y'all like our last 3 months revenues for 21, 22, and 23 to get an average. They're a little bit above 22, but they're about even with 21. And I've had some bad months, so it'll average out to be probably just under or right about what we were doing last year is where we're at. If y'all look over here on the work completed, down on item number 4, I've made a list of roads that's either been half paved, which is a partial paved PP designation. SA is a state aid paved. We did several miles of East Valley Road. We'll complete it next year. We did a lot of work on Clearbrook, state aid money. Meadows Circle, we paved it. Red Rock Canyon Road, we tarred and chipped it. Bryan Lane was a re-chip. It was in bad shape. Minton Road, we did a partial pave. Turner Road, we did a tar and chip. Now I'm going to go to surplus equipment, and looking forward, we're going to do Stone Cave Roads. We're planning on starting it December the 4th. So those people in that district.
You mentioned Greenbrier and Snyder Loop.
We did packed half of Greenbrier, where that road is. I call it, yeah, Greenbrier. we paid the part of it that was really bad. I went out there to patch it, and it was so bad, we couldn't patch it, we just needed to have a base put down.
Good job.
The only thing I really want to talk about other than this is my surplus list. Got a couple items on there. Got a 2018 Chevy Colorado 4x4 we need to surplus. And I've got it's actually a 4,000, that's a typo, 4,000 gallon fuel tank. It was one of the tanks, we replaced the regular gas tank just a few weeks ago we pulled this tank out. It still wasn't leaking yet, but the one beside it the same age was, and it wasn't state code. I had to get 2 double wall tanks and put them in. And that's this tank here, we pulled it out. We're gonna surplus it and either do something with it or send it to the scrap can. So I didn't know how you wanted to handle that, Keith.
Okay, couple of things. This highway department surplus list, Eric makes a comprehensive, you did not get that in your packet. So you have it now, I assume, everybody's got the highway list. So we'll need to waive the 5-day rule to surplus these vehicles. Eric, and typically what we'd like to do is mail these out a week ahead of time, and I know, y'all are out there paving during the weather.
I'm because, we went from 25 or so employees because of cost, we're down to about 16.
Okay.
And I drive the dump trucks, I do whatever. I rake, I put asphalt down. I'm just out there with the crew.
I got it. So I'll entertain a motion to waive the 5-day rule for this surplus.
Make the
We have a motion from Jim Bowles. Do I hear a second? Tommy Johnson. Any questions or concerns? If none, all in favor of waiving the 5-day rule, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, the 5-day rule is hereby waived. Now I'll entertain a motion to surplus said 2018 Chevrolet Colorado and the 3,500 gallon fuel tank.
Actually, a 4,000 gallon tank, I missed it.
It's how much?
Type wrong, it's 4,000.
4,000, correction. Mr. Venero, is that your motion? And Mr. Mackey, motion in the second. I saw you, Ed, I'll get you next time. Have a motion in the second for this surplus. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor of this surplus, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none, said surplus is perfect.
Other than that, questions?
Yeah, 'cause I have a couple of constituents in my district here about the Hobstown Road. We talked about that earlier.
Yes, we're gonna get a section of it this year. The asphalt plant cuts off right before Christmas. We should have enough time to get this state aid job. It's about 3 miles long. It's close to the plant. I've got a lot of trucks lined up to do that. It'll take us 2 or 3 days. And then we're gonna immediately go out there and do a section that we're gonna start before we stop. We're gonna go approximately a mile down through there.
And that was really a delay of funding. We originally talked about in the spring, it just took a while to get.
It took a while to build the funds up.
Yes.
And a lot of our funds that we're using to pave these smaller county roads is, of course, I know she'll know what I'm talking about. The state, if we do a state aid project, if we don't have the expertise in-house, then we get the TDOT to do that. They get 5% of the money. All the stuff we're doing is paving, which is something I'm certified in and stuff like that. So I do our own paving projects. It gives us 5% money back, which out of this $2 million and something we're getting gives us a substantial amount of money to pay on these small roads. And that's how we're doing some of this stuff.
Thank you.
Eric, I have one question relative to Senate Bill 1821, be it enacted by the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, Section 1, from excess state tax revenue over collections in fiscal year 21 and 22 and deposited in the general fund. There is appropriated the sum of $190 million non-reoccurring funds to the Department of Transportation. I'm sorry, Sheriff. That's money before. To the Department of Transportation to be used for making grants in equal amounts of $2 million to each county highway department. Any word on that?
No, I don't know anything about that yet. All I know is the state aid money we got, which was 2.3 almost.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to hear you. But see, folks, this is, again, we get this stuff. And I know he's done the best he can do with roads. And we had the Stepping Stone Road came up earlier, and that needs some work. There's lots of roads that need it. But we could use this $2 million in this county, and I can tell you, we would spend every penny of it on the county roads, so.
Yeah, because
but,
we've
uh,
done
we
about
can't
10
control
roads this year. And I'm going to talk about Stepping Stone since it got brought up. Stepping Stone, I monitor that, and the whole time I've been in office, I get phone calls from the same two people. And I go and check it, we fix the potholes. The road is not near as bad as a lot of the other roads in the county. I mean, if you really want to see some bad roads, come sit with me. I'll take you up Dawes Mountain, I'll take you to Stephen Oak, I'll take you to several other roads in this county. I'll show you one out on Signal Mountain that's got to have FDR done to it. It's got to have the same thing done to it that Clearbrook's had done, where the base has to be completely redone. Well, that costs a lot of money when you have to get into that. I think Clearbrook's has ended up costing us not hardly $600,000 to do 2 miles. Because we had to build the sub base because there wasn't one, and then we had to pave it, and then we got to do stripe it and all that. And we've got several roads in that same condition in the whole county, and I only get, normal year, I get roughly $56,000 to work on state aid roads with. That's about 1.5 miles. Okay, and then right now with the cost of everything, and Keith's talked to me about this, a lot of y'all have, we used to have about $250,000 to $300,000. Well, after COVID, all the cost increases we've incurred eat that up. So what little money we have to spend on a road is where I'm getting my 5% back from state aid and stuff like that. That's how I'm having to do it. So, I mean, it's not easy, but we're making it. You can look, we've got a pretty good list that we've been able to do this year, and not all of it was state aid. Just 2 of them were. And then there'll be a 3rd one done in December.
Paul,
Got a question for you. I've been able to come see you and see what you can work out with them. This here American Water line came up and tied in at the end of New Hope Loop, went across. There's a junction station there, another asphalt. You go across there now, and there's about a 4-inch drop.
Okay.
In that section where they resurfaced it. And I don't know if you work with them or what.
No, I'm going to call them and tell them to fix it, or I'm going to go fix it and I'm going to send them a bill. It's that simple. Tennessee American?
that's on the loop there. Is it on the loop?
No.
It's just like our bridge in Dawes that got hit the other day. The insurance company got to pay $50,000 to fix it. The car insurance company did. I mean, we have to pay for this stuff, and then I have to go to get reimbursement somehow. I mean, I can't just come out of our funds. We don't have it. The Tennessee American, and it's down there where you live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Going to kind of break protocol. We have a new guest tonight. She's been here many times before in the past, but Stephanie Boynton with Erlanger, give us the good report and the good news, please.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come back before you again tonight. So I am just pleased to say that we are looking very forward to working with Sequatchie County, the commission and the county to improve the ER services that we offer. We'll be working toward hopefully coming to a full agreement to expand our current ED space, taking it from 5 beds to 10 beds. And our goal will be to have 5 of those beds certified to actually take observation beds. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to working on that project.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, Sheldon with Ag. And Stephanie, if you need to see your way out, I know you've got an early North Carolina appointment in a little bit. So.
I actually gave you 2 handouts, which pretty much covers the last quarter of our programming. One of the sheets is a report of programs and what we've been doing. And the second one is actually a publication the university put together. It's a summary of the impact of the agribusinesses in the county. So they took the amount of receipts received on the farm and added or multiplied that by certain factors, and it's explained in the handout to see the actual economic impact of the ag industry in the county. So you should have everything in front of you. That's all I have.
Any questions for Sheldon? Doing a good job, Sheldon. Sheldon's in my office with Tom and I most mornings. Tom, and he comes in punctual. Always does a fantastic
We are
job.
interviewing tomorrow for the FCS position, so hopefully next time I meet, we can introduce you to a new agent. Be fully staffed.
Very good. Thank you, Sheldon, for a good job. Okay, our Veteran Service Officer, JP, please, sir. Jim Patterson. I see these guys every day, so I nickname everybody.
So yeah, in continuing the trend, this is also a short report. See, this is almost our end of year numbers. And as you can see, they've gone up quite a bit from last year. We had our annual VA training in Knoxville last month. And I've also completed, and I'm working in the legislative process, a proposal to provide some state funding to help out with veteran services. Mr. Cartwright has seen it. Anybody that's interested in on the commission, be happy to email it or show it to you. And again, I want to thank you for your support of our office and veterans in general. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Let me say this about our Veteran Service Officer. I know this goes out to everybody, but if you know a veteran, and I see Johnny back there, and he's always stepped in to help when we see a veteran in need. But we have an excellent Veteran Service Officer in Jim Patterson. If a veteran thinks they can't get help, you need to go see this gentleman. He's been able to help folks that in the past they've received no help. He sees avenues to get monies for families, whether deceased or not. He knows the different strategies on how to get those monies to those families. And I appreciate the hard work and the knowledge that you have to help those people that have served our country well. Thank you, Jim Patterson.
Where is he actually located physically?
He is on campus. He is the third building over, right here across from the Dunlap City Fire Department, right here at the PD, right there. He's on the corner building.
Okay, Jim, where did you derive all these numbers that you got? Where did you?
They come from the VA annual GDX report or GDI report. That produces, as far as what our economic development, and our internal numbers come from our state claims filing software.
So like that, they give you the number of the veterans that you've got in this county also?
Yes, and the amount of dollars that come in and the total dollars, and so.
That's good.
Ms. Bergen with our library, please.
Hello. I just want to thank all of you guys that could come out to the library this evening. We had some great food, great conversation. Anytime I get to show off the library, I love to do that. I got to show the commissioners tonight things that have changed at the library, because the future of the library is just not books anymore. It is so much more things. And so we have created a family room. We're working on a teen room upstairs with the book sale. Raised almost $8,000, and so that provides some new furniture for our teens. They're going to have their own space upstairs with the librarian up there. And one thing I didn't get to touch on with the commissioners tonight is we're also expanding. We're going to start Library of Things in January, and that's going to be where we have families that maybe want to know how to sew, but they don't want to really purchase a sewing machine yet. We will be able to check out sewing machines. We're going to have cooking lessons, and they'll get to check out like cake pans, that sort of thing. Some of the big libraries in the state wants like leaf blowers and chainsaws. That's I don't know about any of that. Home stuff I can do. So I think I'd have to touch base with Jennifer about some legal issues with that. But anytime anybody wants to tour of the library, if you don't have a library card, come see me. We open tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Gracious host tonight for the commissioners. We ate well, commissioners, did we not? So we appreciate that and all the support that you guys give our county residents. Okay, I don't think Janice is here with the chamber. Anybody here with the chamber that wants to get up and sing the national anthem or anything? Not here to see anybody. Ms. Mooneyham with the IDB.
Good evening. I would like to also thank you for your support of the Sequatchie County Industrial Development Board.
We have been extremely busy the past couple of months. I would like to say that we finally closed on the Carlisle project, and that has been almost a 4-year endeavor. And I would like to thank Chairman Cartwright and also George Hamilton, because they've put a lot of time and hours that nobody knows in bringing this to fruition. So we finally did it, and now we are working with Sequatchie Associates, and they are our new partner, and we're working with them to do a master plan, and it will probably take somewhere around a year. And we've already been in contact with an anchor store, and everything is looking good on that, and that's all I can say about that development. But thank you for your support. We had to do a lot of different things to make all that work. And thank you to our counselor, Jennifer. She stood up and really did a good job, and I was proud of her also. But one thing that I'm really excited about is this year's audit was clean, and I was so proud of that. And I want to thank Andrew Johnson, who is our Secretary Treasurer. He put a lot of hours into that, and it was all him. So I just want to say thank you. And that's all I have right now.
Any questions for Pam?
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. Let me say this, we've passed up too many folks, but our highly skilled counselor, Jennifer Mitchell, this deal went south several times. She brought it back to life. And Jennifer, thank you for what you do for this county at a little or no cost. So thank you for what you do for us. Okay, moving forward, we've got 911. Brian, do you want Stacy to give the report?
Stacy, you want to give it? You're okay.
I'd like to yield all my time to Commissioner Wilson.
Everything is running smoothly at the 911 center. We do have a new employee right now, and he is catching on very quickly. Mapping is slow, but it's still an increase to our population here in Sequatchie County, and everything's moving forward.
Before I forget, our meeting is back on for Wednesday to go visit the tower site, so come and see me in the morning. So I don't know, Nisha took the appointment
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Wednesday morning, so come by. So Mac, you can too. Thank you.
No, you can go.
Counselor, anything from you?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, Commission, folks in the audience. The Budget Committee did meet this afternoon, and we had a few items to take care of, a little bit of bookkeeping to do, so we'll get right into what we covered. There was a couple of transfers, and most everybody should have got a copy of the transfers in their packet. The first one, and this came as a recommendation from the Budget Committee, it was a transfer of Budget Code 101 from 39,000 fund balance, sum total of $5,350, transferring to 51,100,191 County Commission members' fees. And that was a motion from the Budget Committee.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I've got a second from Jimbo Breeden. Any questions relative to this transfer? Hearing none, because it exceeds 5,000 barely, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Sister Shell?
Yes.
Gary Williams?
Yes.
Brian Ruling?
Yes.
Blaine Lane?
Yes.
James Breland?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Joyce Dodson? Yes. Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Barger?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
June Dishman?
Yes.
Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tom Nero?
Yes.
and Jeff Mackey?
Yes.
Transfer hereby passes. Mark.
All right, the next transfer that that the Budget Committee considered, and this comes as a recommendation this comes as a motion from the Budget Committee. It was Budget Code 101, transferring from 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $14,500, transferring that to 52,500,207, that's the county clerk medical insurance, 53,100,207, circuit court medical insurance, and 56,500,207 library medical insurance. And that's what was 9,000, 5,000, and 500 for a full total of $14,500.
You've heard the motion from the budget. Do I hear a second? Have a second from Mr. Powell. Any questions? This is for open enrollment, picking up those folks that chose to get on the health plan. Okay, because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Freeland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barber.
All right, that's all of the transfers, but there was some other discussions, and one of the topics of discussion was the infrastructure funding plan. Cagle Fredonia infrastructure on Cagle Fredonia Camp Road, they submitted a completed project, and this came as a motion from the budget committee to reimburse to the appropriate third party the 33% that we had passed in our resolution, which came to a total of $11,273.09. And it was a motion from the budget committee.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I have a second from Mr. Blaine Lane. Any questions? Mr. Venero.
Just a comment, and what's interesting about this project is, honestly, Jeff and I knew nothing of this. It shows that the citizenry up there went through the Southeast Development District, went through the proper procedures, and went through what we passed in 21.
Back in May, you guys forgot, but you met with those guys. You gave them the template to run with, the playbook. They did that. We never heard again from them. I got an invoice.
We gave them you're right, we gave them the
that's
policy
right.
plan, and they did it from there. It's almost amazing.
I love it when constituents take care of themselves.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
Good job. I mean, that's good.
I mean, we didn't do anything, give them a
Any other comments? Quit patting yourself on the back.
All right, I'll patch them back on.
Hearing none, Madam Clerk, because it exceeds the $5,000, roll call, please.
Chester Shell.
No.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Freeland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, the Cagle Fredonia Infrastructure Fund, $11,273 hereby passes. Mr. Barber.
All right. Also, and Miss Stephanie, she's already left. She kind of transferred, but the Erlanger did, and I think it's in everyone's packet, did have a letter of intent, a non-binding letter of intent, and there was it came as a motion from the budget committee to give, and Keith, you can kind of help me with the wording, give Keith and Jennifer the authority to move forward with this letter of intent.
Well, yes, with a couple of legalese words added to that relative to the EMS building.
Yes.
So that's you put it well. So.
But this was a motion from the budget committee.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Tommy Johnson. Thank you, sir. Gary, I'll get you next time. We've got a motion and a second, and this LOI right now has no monetary value at this point. It will eventually, but non-binding as we see. But we have a motion and a second. Any comments? Mr. Venero.
Just a comment to address my friend Ed, who brought up a very good point during the budget committee about kind of a second go around on this. Although it's a little different, I think I'd like to share with Ed and other things, it's a much smaller project, which is much different than the 30 million. We went through the issues that I think were problematic. So I think, Ed's concern is my concern too, but I'm thinking, I think as a general rule, the commission feels a lot better about it just because we had an experience and it's such a less of a risk and our financial position is so much better. So I just think that what Ed brought is a good concern, and I think we pushed really hard for this, but in general, I feel much more optimistic about us being able to do it, just based on the time it's happening, even with the high interest rates. That is part of it, but 30 million versus 4 gives a lot more room and flexibility for us to do things.
Agreed.
So,
Anyone else?
And to echo what Mr. Granero said, I feel a lot more confident and comfortable with this. And Erlanger was in here, Miss Stephanie and a couple of members were in here in the discussion, and they were really open to our concerns, and I feel much better about this project than the one that did fall through.
And I would just add one other thing to that is, we get asked all the time, why do we purchase property and things like that? Well, this is, the property purchase that we made a year and a half ago is now going to bear fruit as we're allowing and have space to allow hospitals to expand and still do something with our emergency medical response.
Good point. Good
Our
point.
health complex, as it's been called in the past. Yeah.
Good point.
I'm glad them too on the fact they brought somebody with them tonight that could answer the question that the budget committee formed for them. The last time we run this rabbit, the man they had representing, he was a little bit hesitant, and he'd say, I'll have to get back with you with that. This man answered the question just like that, so they've got 4 people involved that can answer our questions when we have a question come up about it.
Yep. I don't think you guys left anything on the table tonight, that's for sure.
Nope.
I missed some of the meeting, but I guess the only, and you guys can probably answer, I'm sure, was they said that they could basically either party could back out at any time if they saw fit, but they also wanted us to put basically an investment up front.
Yes.
Once we spend that first cent, is it locked in? Is my
I would think so.
Okay,
Yes.
so I would assume so, but it wasn't
We would
very
be contractually bound at that
Okay.
point, yes.
Yeah. And the way I understand it, and this is kind of how the other deal was, is the first cent won't be spent until there's a contract in place.
Correct.
Okay.
This agreement tonight is non-binding, but we need a springboard just to get started. So Michael.
Yeah, I just want to say, I will always support expansion of healthcare and education. It's the reason I voted to buy that little piece of property by the hospital, and it's worth the risk. $3 million is not a big risk to improve our healthcare in the county. It could save someone's life, could save your life, and I'll always be on the side of expanding healthcare and education.
Thank you,
That's all I have
Michael.
to say.
Any other comment? Thank you. Let's see, let's see.
We have a motion to second. We got a vote
LOA,
now.
ayes.
Roll call, please.
Pardon?
Roll call.
Okay, with there's no monetary value, okay, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Blaine Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joel Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Jennifer, you've got any time tomorrow? We'll go ahead and knock this out before the holiday take off.
I agree.
It shouldn't take much, and we'll get that.
I'll come back
done.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, there was one other item that was in the budget committee. Now this one, I think before we present it, we had to waive the 5-day rule in the budget committee. We will need to waive the 5-day rule here. This is concerning the Liberty Tire recycling contract. It was not into everybody's budget.
Motion to waive the 5-day, Jim Bowe. Got a second from Paul Powell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none, said waiver hereby passes. Now I will entertain a motion to approve the Liberty Tire Recycling.
Well, it came as a motion out of the Budget
We'll need
Committee.
a second. Chester, you got a second from Chester. Any questions?
So as a point of discussion, we've always kind of had a contract, so to speak, with Liberty Tire. They're kind of the only game in town when it comes to recycling and disposing of tires. And this is just a renewal. They've gone to a yearly contract versus a 3-year contract.
Correct.
The terms, from what I understand and what I see in the contract, it's the same price, which is $130 per ton, which is what it was last year.
Last 3 years, yeah. That is correct. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lang.
Yes.
James Freeland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bossick.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Matthews.
Yes.
Okay, motion hereby passes on the tire recycling contract.
And that was the full hour discussion of the Budget Committee.
All right.
They're done.
Thank you very much,
Full hour
Chairman.
discussion of the commission meeting too.
Yep.
We appreciate it. Okay, part of the duty as county executive is to keep up with the chairman of the IDB on members that roll off of the IDB whose term rolls off. And this year, before year's end, Andrew Johnson and Greg Griffith's term expire. It is my recommendation to this body that those 2 individuals be reappointed. I've spoke to both individuals. They're glad to keep serving. They've done a splendid job, and it's my high recommendation. I'll entertain a motion to reapprove those guys. Jimbo, thank you. Ed for the second. Any questions relative to those 2 gentlemen?
Are you increasing their pay?
We're going to double it. Any other
Those
questions?
zeros add up, by the way.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations, Andrew. You can tell Greg family that he's back in, so very good. Also, one of the duties as county mayor is to accept from the utility districts board members when their terms expire. Cagle Fredonia Utility has presented a bill of fare, and our duty is they list candidates 1 through 3, and Barry Keith Lane, many of you know him, is on the board now. They asked for him to be reappointed. I'll entertain a motion to reappoint him. Mr. Powell, thank you. Mr. J. Mack, he's out in your district. I know you or Venero will be glad to do that. Any questions relative to Barry Keith's Lane appointment? Hearing none?
Yeah, well, just a comment saying again that those recommendations come from Steve Farley directly. Jeff and I don't have any really role in that, other than respecting that Steve Farley picks the people he needs to work with for that utility.
Yeah,
district.
and
we support that on his basis.
And this whole legislative body, we do that with the utility districts. They know far better than we do. We're just rubber stamping, so to speak, unless the sheriff says, no, we've got him in jail up here for something. But we've got a motion and second. Hearing no more discussion, all in favor with Barry Keith Lane say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Lane is hereby reappointed. Okay, up next, the county executive to address the commission. A couple of things. Nisha handed out a new committee appointments for that. I need blessing on some of this. We'll need to waive the 5-day rule for those new appointments. Do I hear a motion to waive? Jimbo and Paul, thank you. Jimbo, motion. Paul. All in favor of waiving, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The 5-day rule is hereby waived. Now, since 2006, some of you guys that were around back then and on the commission, we were mandated, and CTASC walked us through, having an ethics policy, adopting a resolution, I have that in hand, to have an ethics policy and naming an ethics committee. Now, typically, I've noticed over the years that in the early years, they used the personnel committee to do that. We have to have 5 members. Now, the problem with that is on our personnel committee, we've got 7 members. So I've spoke with 5 individuals on this appointment. You have them in hand. They are Susie Bostic, Joyce Dotson, Brian Walker, Tom Venero, and Tommy Johnson. I've asked these guys to serve on that ethics committee, and what you guys will have to do if the rest of these guys vote for you, you need to have a short meeting. You need to elect 2 things, a chairman and a secretary. If you can craft some minutes quickly and email those to me tomorrow, I would appreciate it, and I can get back in good standing with compliance with CTAS. So if you would do that for me after this meeting, possibly just you guys gather and have a quick meeting, call it to order, and I can call the original meeting right after this to order, then you guys select, take that action if we can do that. So we have I'll entertain now a motion to accept the new committee appointments going forward. Mr. Powell, thank you for that. Mr. Venero, thank you, sir. I saw you, Chester, get you next time. Any questions?
Is the chairman supposed to be a chairman on the ballpark committee?
The first name on each committee is the chairman.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already voted that one in. We're just adding this other 2.
With the exceptions of the ethics committee.
With the exception of the ethics. Thank you, Jeff Margaret. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The new ethics committee is hereby appointed tonight. You got a copy of that? Okay, thank you. Okay, a couple of things, and then I will be through, we will be through. Okay, guys, this is.
Interrupt just one second.
Yes, Frank.
On the ethics committee, will that, if you're not getting these continuing education classes and all that, will that fall under that committee?
I would think not.
Okay.
I would think not. Now, guys, remember the continuing education is only good if you were elected, Joyce, help me out here, 2018? Now, Joyce, even though she served back in the 70s, she still has to do continuing education. But because she was elected in 18, re-elected in 18, she has to continue this continuing education. Brian Ruig and I met with our CTAS rep, Heather Duncan today, and she's going to start coming in every quarter to do training for 2 hours, and that you guys shouldn't have to travel when she does that. So we're going to make that possible. We'll set that up in sometime early spring. Okay?
Does that ever end? I mean, for the new people that
it does. You know, you can roll off. That's about all you can do. Okay, the next item that I want to speak about is just a couple of things, guys, and this is just what I'm presenting to you tonight. We want to talk about a comprehensive capital projects discussion. Now, we're not going to get into any highways tonight, any discussion, but the sheriff is here and we've had some conversation. We're talking about growth, and we're talking specifically about our 5, 10, and 20-year capital projects plan for our growth. A couple of things we need to look at. The Erlanger project we heard about tonight. We have a growing population. We have a growing elder population that we need to be able to address. So that expansion will take care of that. With that growth, and I know the schools have picked up a little bit. Sarai, we picked up a little there, so we need to potentially be ready for that. But one thing that we do need to do specifically is our jail expansion. We need to look for that. We're going to be bringing forth a proposal, a comprehensive proposal side by side with the Erlanger project. Now, we can look at any piece of it. We're going to bring it forth. But I think if we're going to do a capital project, any major capital project for the future, we want to look at that prior to budget season, which is only 6 months away. So we're working with the sheriff. Our juvenile detention kids. This is crazy. We're paying $175 a night. We've only got 3 kids. I think I checked this afternoon, 3 kids in the county that we're paying that to. But guys, it's like interest. They don't take Saturday and Sunday off.
Well, what do you mean by that, paying $175?
We don't have a place to house our juvenile
Oh, so we're having to pay
detainees.
somebody to.
We pay
for the facility.
typically Putnam County, Ray County, and Murfreesboro, or Rutherford County typically.
And that one was $250.
Rutherford County's $250.
That shows my understanding. Yes, we just paid, I think, $27,000 for the last child that was.
So we need to really look at creating something in the future. I just don't feel this is going to shrink. I mean, these numbers are going to keep going up. So we need to really take this under discussion. We're going to bring back and talk about it specifically in budget next in our January meeting. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I don't have any concrete numbers. It could be as high as, for all of this, could be as high as $7 or $8 million. I don't know, but it's something we really need to look at. You as commissioners are responsible for the future of this county. I mean, sitting in where I'm sitting at, I only implement what you guys tell me to do, what you vote for. But we need to take a look at it. We bought property, it's been brought up, we've done that strategically, we've needed to do it. I'll stand behind that every time. And also, by the way, that property, especially during these last years, has greatly increased in value. I'd hate to go back and buy that 50 acres down here on 28 now, but enough about that. So we're going to be bringing that to you guys to take a look at. Okay, I'm done with my commentary. Couple of things, a couple of announcements. I'm going to get everything I need to say out of the way. The Lions Club Shop with a Hero with using the city police department, the county's law enforcement, the fire department's taking up toys and food items. It's going to start kicking high gear. We're working with community centers throughout the county. We're working down in the 6th with Tombo's store down there at the, what do they call that down there, Tombo?
Country Market.
Country Market, thank you, Mike.
Just that store
Working with others. They'll be coming up shortly at the rescue squad with their toys. It's a busy season.
We'll be collecting money.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ed is very involved in this, so give. That's what we do, and serve. So we appreciate the commissioners getting out and doing that. And any other announcements that anyone wants to make? Mr. Powell.
I get up too often and say stuff that I shouldn't say. But we're gonna have to check in to get the new ambulance service, one way or the other. They used to have a representative come to every county commission meeting. Tell us what they were doing for Sequatchie County. I enjoyed hearing that because I felt like, well, we're getting our money's worth. Here lately, I'm getting some complaints about service. If I'm having a heart attack, I don't want to have to play up our langer noise for an hour waiting on the ambulance to get here. They tried to convince the county commission years ago when they got to be and everything, we'll have an ambulance here immediately. There's a defect summers in our ambulance service because you can't, when you get people telling you, I'm standing at the emergency room for 45 minutes waiting on the ambulance to come out of Jasper, there's a breakdown in their service summers. It's not being fulfilled. Whether the man shows up here and tells us what he's doing for Sequatchie County or not, it's nothing to do with it. It's what we're getting from our service. We're not getting the kind of service that we need in Sequatchie County as far as ambulance.
Brian may can speak more to this. I certainly hear you. But I will say this, contractually with the time limits they have, I don't hear a lot of scuttlebutt in my office relative to them not, doing what they say they'll do contractually.
So Garrett was going to be here tonight. He has the stomach virus and he's at home battling that right now. He was going to be here tonight to speak for public.
And we had Shane Garrison, who is, I understand, used to make sure everything was run smooth. I know he's sold out and he's still involved, that it's, you know, I don't know to what aspect, but I get your point, and I will make, we need to speak with Gary to make sure they've got somebody here to be accountable for those services.
Another thing they say, Keith, they tell them that they're waiting on the ambulance, and there'll be an ambulance sitting out there. It'll be in the bay sitting there, and they say they're still waiting on an ambulance. They've been, several people told me that. And maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe they've got that ambulance on hold for something else or something.
Well, and we can get all into this and we can do it later, but for an example, when someone is pronounced dead in the county medical examiner in there, the ambulance cannot leave until she gets there and pronounces, and sometimes that's hours. Well, that, I've had a conversation with Doc Shepherd several times. She's hard to communicate with sometimes because she'll give it right back to you, and you guys know Doc Shepherd. But you know, we've got some issues now. What I want to tell you is contractually, their contract is up in June of 24.
Yeah, it's coming up very soon.
May or June. Now, what we did, and when Tommy and I went to Atlanta to Austell to recruit them years ago, they are here because they are Erlanger's preferred carrier. Now, Erlanger just RFP'd that service, so they invited others. Now, if Erlanger brings somebody else to the table and their contract says we want you to use our preferred carrier, now I don't know that we'll be using who we're using now because they'll want us to use their preferred carrier. So that's all subject to change up until then. But now
I just threw that out there to let you know.
yeah. So there's a lot going on, and I don't want to get into all the details, but we'll bring back the best deal we can get, I promise you. Any other announcements?
Well, everybody have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Enjoy your family.
I do have one announcement, or public service, right? Folks, and maybe we get rain tonight and maybe we don't. Don't build a campfire and don't shoot off fireworks. Don't do anything like that, because the woods are akindle right now. Ask Whitwell Mountain, ask folks up in Bledsoe County and Rockdale Mountain.
Ask us, we've been chasing them all for the past month.
All the fire departments in Sequatchie County, we've been chasing fires all month. So just be responsible and don't.
We are under a burn ban.
And we're under a burn ban, so just don't burn.
And all God's children said amen. Let's go home.
We stand adjourned.
Notaries.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold it, guys. Hold it, guys. Notaries.
All right, yeah, wait a minute. I only have five.
Yeah, I was back in.
Sorry about that.
We have Curtis Lamar Heyman, Michelle, Suzanne Heyman, Delilah Marie Heyman, Tina P. Lawson, and Robert Elizabeth Scott.
Motion.
Somebody open a postal annex or something?
Got a motion from Jimbo.
Yes.
Second from Mackey. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, said no to hereby passed. We now are adjourned.
Sorry.
Norman. Oh, yeah. I gotta come see you. I gotta look at my table.